Denzel Washington, one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors, has always been known for his remarkable talent, commanding presence, and thoughtful insights both on and off the screen. From his riveting performances in Training Day 2001, to the spiritually resonant The Book of Eli 2010, and the intense emotional journey of Flight 2012, Washington has carved a place in cinematic history that is unmatched. Today, he continues to captivate audiences, most recently appearing in Spike Lee's highly anticipated film Highest to Lowest 2025, showcasing once again his ability to immerse himself in complex characters. Recently, Washington has stepped into a different kind of spotlight, not for his on-screen work, but for his candid reflections on cancel culture, a phenomenon that has increasingly shaped modern society and entertainment. Known for his wisdom and thoughtful approach, Washington addressed the subject with nuance, offering perspectives that reflect both his deep understanding of human nature and his experience in a career spanning over 4 decades. Understanding cancel culture through Denzel Washington's lens. Cancel culture, broadly defined, refers to the public calling out of individuals, often celebrities, politicians, or influencers, for past or present actions perceived as offensive, harmful, or problematic. In many ways, it represents a societal attempt to hold people accountable. However, critics argue that it can sometimes devolve into mob mentality, quick judgment, or disproportionate punishment, leaving little room for dialogue or personal growth. Washington's remarks highlight a delicate balance, acknowledging the need for accountability while emphasizing empathy, understanding, and the potential for redemption. He suggests that society must pause before rushing to judgment, considering context, intent, and the complexity of human behavior. His approach resonates with many who feel that cancel culture often lacks nuance, particularly when applied to individuals who have dedicated their lives to positive contributions. I think we have to be very careful about how we approach people's mistakes, Washington noted. We live in a world where one misstep can define you forever, but people are complicated, and sometimes a single act doesn't define a person's entire character. We have to allow space for growth, for learning, and for the human element to be understood. This statement reflects Washington's broader philosophy, a belief in the transformative power of personal growth and accountability. In his long career, Washington himself has faced challenges and controversies, yet he has consistently used them as opportunities to reflect, evolve, and elevate his craft. The actor is an observer and influencer. Washington's comments also touch on a larger conversation about the role of artists and public figures in society. Celebrities wield significant influence, and their words and actions can spark change, inspire millions, or provoke debate. Yet this influence comes with responsibility, and, increasingly, scrutiny. By addressing cancel culture directly, Washington demonstrates that he understands the complexity of fame in the digital age. Social media platforms amplify mistakes, often without allowing time for thoughtful consideration or dialogue. Washington's perspective suggests that society must strike a balance, hold individuals accountable while also fostering understanding and compassion. When we talk about accountability, it's essential to separate judgment from hatred, he said. There's a difference between holding someone responsible for their actions and completely dismissing them as a human being. We can critique without destroying. We can question without condemning. A career defined by depth and resilience. Washington's reflections on cancel culture are deeply informed by his own life experiences and career. Over the decades, he has consistently chosen roles that explore moral complexity, human struggle, and resilience. In Training Day, He portrayed Detective Alonzo Harris, a character whose moral ambiguity sparked conversation about corruption and ethics. In the Book of Eli, he explored themes of faith, perseverance, and the human capacity for redemption. And in Flight, he tackled addiction, personal failure, and the consequences of choices, delivering a performance that was both raw and deeply humane. These roles reveal a consistent pattern in Washington's career, a focus on characters who are flawed yet capable of growth, struggling yet determined to find meaning. This artistic sensibility informs his perspective on cancel culture. It's about recognizing human complexity rather than reducing individuals to a single mistake. Highest to lowest. Continuing a legacy. In 2025, Washington returns to the screen in Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest, a film that promises to further cement his reputation as a versatile and daring actor. While details of the plot remain closely guarded, early reports suggest a story that navigates power dynamics, social inequality, and personal transformation, subjects that align closely with Washington's long-standing interest in human resilience and morality. Collaborating with Spike Lee, a director renowned for tackling societal issues with boldness and nuance, provides Washington with another platform to explore complex narratives and characters. This pairing is a testament to his continued relevance in Hollywood, where he not only entertains but also provokes thought and dialogue. Reflections on influence, responsibility, and society. Washington's stance on cancel culture also underscores a broader philosophical question: how should society balance accountability with empathy? In a media-saturated world, every word, action, or misstep can be amplified, sometimes beyond the original intent. Washington reminds us that people are multifaceted and that true understanding requires patience, dialogue, and a willingness to consider context. Greater than, we have to remember that people are always learning, he explained. Nobody has all the answers, and nobody is perfect. Part of being human is making mistakes and finding ways to move forward. If we don't allow that, we risk creating a society that fears growth, fears mistakes, and ultimately fears being human. This perspective is particularly relevant in Hollywood, a community where reputations are meticulously crafted, yet easily dismantled by public scrutiny. Washington's insight encourages not only artists but all of us to approach conflict with empathy, to consider the full picture before passing judgment, and to allow room for reconciliation and understanding. The broader cultural impact. Denzel Washington's commentary on cancel culture resonates beyond Hollywood. In workplaces, schools, and communities, similar dynamics play out daily. Mistakes, miscommunications, and disagreements can escalate quickly, especially in the age of instant communication and social media. Washington's call for balance, context, and humanity serves as a reminder that accountability need not be synonymous with destruction. Moreover, his approach aligns with a growing societal conversation about restorative justice, focusing not just on punishment, but on learning, growth, and repairing harm. By advocating for thoughtful engagement rather than reflexive condemnation, Washington contributes meaningfully to this ongoing cultural dialogue. Lessons from a Hollywood legend. For aspiring actors, artists, or anyone navigating public life, Washington's words offer valuable lessons. 1. Human complexity matters. Individuals cannot be defined solely by a single action or mistake. Understanding context and intent is crucial. 2. Growth is essential. Allowing oneself and others to learn from missteps fosters resilience and maturity. 3. Empathy over judgment. Critique can be constructive without being destructive. Compassion and accountability are not mutually exclusive. 4. The power of influence. Celebrities and public figures must navigate their influence responsibly, while society must approach their actions thoughtfully. 5. Art reflects life. Through complex roles and narratives, actors like Washington illuminate human struggles and triumphs, offering lessons that extend beyond the screen. Looking ahead, as Denzel Washington continues his illustrious career, his voice on issues like cancel culture exemplifies the impact that thoughtful, measured commentary can have. In an era where quick judgment often overshadows reflection, his perspective offers a refreshing reminder that accountability and compassion can coexist. With highest to lowest and future projects, Washington continues to engage audiences not only with his craft but also with the ideas and conversations his work inspires. Whether through the characters he portrays or the insights he shares publicly, he remains a guiding figure in understanding the complexities of humanity, fame, and societal dynamics. Ultimately, Washington's reflections challenge us all to pause before rushing to judgment, to consider the full story, and to embrace the possibility of redemption. His approach reminds us that even in a world driven by instant reactions and social media fervor, thoughtful dialogue and empathy remain indispensable. In a culture often defined by division and immediacy, Denzel Washington stands as a beacon of perspective, urging both individuals and society to seek understanding, celebrate growth, and recognize the enduring complexity of the human experience. Through his films, his words, and his example, he continues to shape not only Hollywood but also the broader conversation about responsibility, empathy, and the human capacity for change. Glowing star conclusion. Denzel Washington's commentary on cancel culture is more than the opinion of a Hollywood star. It is a reflection of decades of experience, insight, and human understanding. By advocating for accountability paired with empathy, he encourages society to embrace a more nuanced view of human behavior. As audiences worldwide eagerly anticipate his performances in Highest to Lowest and beyond, Washington's voice reminds us that while mistakes are inevitable, growth, understanding, and redemption are always possible. Through this lens, Denzel Washington is not only an actor but a cultural guide, navigating the complexities of fame, morality, and society with wisdom, grace, and unwavering integrity. His reflections serve as an invitation to watch thoughtfully, judge carefully, and always remember the enduring power of empathy in a world quick to condemn.